What if everything we thought we knew about HYBE's stability wasn't the full story? What if behind the billion-1 numbers, behind the polished press releases, behind the confident quarterly reports, there were two names silently holding everything together? Welcome back to Jikook Lover. Before we begin, smash that like button right now, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe because tonight's story, it's explosive, it's controversial, and it's something mainstream media isn't saying out loud. Because today, we're uncovering the real reason HYBE is still standing strong, and why the roles of Jimin and Jungkook might be far bigger than anyone expected. Is this strategy or survival? Is this coincidence or proof of something much deeper? Let's talk about it. When uncertainty began circling the global entertainment industry, analysts grew cautious. Market watchers predicted slowdowns. Headlines speculated about transition phases and potential revenue dips. The pressure was real. The expectations were enormous, and the spotlight was intense. Yet when HYBE released its fourth quarter results, something unexpected happened. The company didn't crumble. It didn't shrink. It didn't retreat. Instead, it surpassed 100 billion KRW in content sales. The numbers were strong, surprisingly strong. But numbers alone don't silence doubt. Numbers create questions. How? Why now? And perhaps the biggest question of all, who? In financial reports, success is described through percentages and growth margins. But behind those cold statistics lies something warmer, more volatile, more powerful: audience emotion. In the months leading to Q4, two figures continued to dominate global conversation. Their releases weren't just music drops. They were global moments. Their appearances weren't just performances. They were events. Jimin and Jungkook, not merely as members of a legendary group, not just as solo artists, but as global cultural drivers. Streaming platforms recorded surges. International charts reacted. Physical album sales exceeded expectations. Merchandise moved rapidly. Brand partnerships intensified. Digital engagement soared across continents. Was this accidental timing? Or was this the ignition point HYBE needed during a critical phase? Observers began noticing patterns. Whenever either name trended, engagement metrics climbed. Whenever new content dropped, platform traffic followed. Whenever they appeared, even briefly, conversation exploded across social media ecosystems. In the modern entertainment economy, attention is currency, and these two possess global attention at scale. But the deeper story isn't just about popularity. It's about impact during vulnerability. During corporate transition periods, stability often depends on consistent consumer engagement. When uncertainty clouds investor confidence, strong content performance can anchor perception, and perception influences valuation. In Q4, content sales exceeded 100 billion KRW. That figure isn't symbolic. It's structural. It suggests that despite noise, despite speculation, despite shifting dynamics, consumer demand remained powerful. And much of that demand centered around projects tied to Jimin and Jungkook. Jimin's artistic identity carries emotional weight. His solo work resonates with introspective themes, refined visuals, and a distinct sonic signature that appeals across Asia, Europe, and the Americas. His releases tend to generate sustained engagement rather than short spikes. Jungkook, on the other hand, commands mainstream global magnetism. His crossover appeal, Western chart presence, and digital streaming dominance amplify reach. His releases often produce immediate impact, explosive debuts, viral traction, algorithm acceleration. Together, they represent two complementary forces: emotional longevity and explosive reach. Industry insiders began quietly acknowledging what fans have been saying louder and louder: this duo creates measurable momentum. Some analysts call it brand gravity. Others call it fandom power. But increasingly, the phrase ace duo appears in discussions, not as a fan slogan, but as a performance descriptor. And here's where the mystery deepens. HYBE is not a two-artist company. It houses multiple labels, diverse talent, expanding global ventures, and technological investments. Its foundation is multifaceted. Yet during this particular quarter, the conversation narrowed. Why? Because timing matters. Because perception shapes narrative. Because when pressure builds, the figures who deliver visible results become symbolic anchors. But does that mean HYBE's stability depends entirely on them? Or does it mean HYBE successfully engineered a system capable of maximizing individual star power into corporate resilience? The truth may sit somewhere in between. Financial resilience in entertainment rarely stems from one factor. It's a blend of strategic scheduling, global distribution networks, brand alliances, and fandom ecosystems. Yet emotional capital, the deep loyalty of millions worldwide, can accelerate everything. When fans mobilize globally, they don't just stream. They purchase, they share, they amplify, they defend. They sustain relevance in algorithm-driven landscapes. And relevance fuels revenue. In Q4, relevance did not decline. It intensified. The narrative of uncertainty began losing volume. In its place rose a different conversation, one of dominance, of influence, of unexpected strength. Still, skepticism lingers. Is this sustainable long-term? Is this a temporary surge? Or are we witnessing the restructuring of power within the company itself? Because here's the uncomfortable question no one wants to ask too loudly. If one of them chose a drastically different path tomorrow, would the numbers look the same? Would investor confidence remain identical? Would engagement maintain its velocity? This isn't about diminishing the broader ecosystem. It's about recognizing measurable impact. HYBE survived Q4 strongly. That is fact. But the reason behind that strength, that's where debate ignites. Some argue it's corporate strategy brilliance. Others insist it's fandom loyalty at unprecedented scale. And many believe it's the undeniable gravitational pull of two global icons operating at peak influence simultaneously. Perhaps what we're truly witnessing is a new era, one where individual brand power within entertainment conglomerates carries unprecedented structural weight. Or perhaps we're only seeing the surface of a much larger blueprint still unfolding behind executive doors. HYBE remains solid. The sales surpassed 100 billion KRW. The headlines shifted from doubt to resilience. But the question refuses to disappear. Is HYBE strong because of its system? Or is its system currently amplified, even stabilized, by the extraordinary force of Jimin and Jungkook? And perhaps the most fascinating part of this unfolding story is not the revenue itself, but the psychological shift it triggered across the industry. Confidence is invisible, yet it moves markets. The moment HYBE's Q4 numbers circulated globally, hesitation softened. Conversations that once questioned sustainability began acknowledging endurance. And once confidence returns, momentum often follows. But momentum in entertainment is fragile. It demands constant ignition. It thrives on anticipation. It survives on emotional investment. And this is where the spotlight inevitably returns to Jimin and Jungkook. Every teaser becomes a countdown event. Every appearance sparks trending waves across multiple platforms within minutes. Every release triggers coordinated global fan action that many corporations would spend millions trying to manufacture organically. This level of mobilization cannot be easily replicated. It cannot be instantly engineered. It is cultivated over years of trust, artistry, and connection. Some insiders quietly suggest that HYBE's real asset is not just music catalogs or intellectual property. It's the depth of parasocial loyalty built between artist and audience. When fans feel personally connected, economic behavior follows emotional instinct. They don't simply consume content. They participate in its success, and participation changes outcomes. Still, uncertainty always lingers in industries driven by public sentiment. Trends evolve, tastes shift, attention fragments. The real question may not be whether Jimin and Jungkook influenced HYBE's resilience. Evidence suggests they did. The deeper question is whether this influence signals a temporary peak or the beginning of a new structural era where individual star power redefines corporate stability.